Get yourself settled so that you're really comfortable and give yourself credit for coming here to the practice. There's lots of other things to do, and often it's not convenient, might not be convenient for other people. But then when we do it anyway, then we get to have the benefits of being here. And we also get the benefits of following through on something that's important to us. So acknowledge yourself for doing that and set your intention for the practice that as much as you can, you'll stay present, relax your body, move into a more relaxed breath as well. Let the mind settle, and that you'll make this practice your own. Make it something that's going to work for you. So if I'm talking about visualizing something and that doesn't work for you, then do something else instead. Really move into a close, attentive witnessing of something in the body, maybe, or an energy, or whatever, whatever is your sense of what's the best thing for you. We start by noticing what's been happening as I've been speaking, what those words cause to happen. There's always other thoughts. There's sensation, energy in the body, memories. It might be exciting, might be anxiety producing. There's so many different options, and we move through those. We can have a wide range of experiences. Notice your body, your breath, thoughts in your mind, and notice who it is that's having the experience of noticing all of that. And bring your attention to the back of your body. Notice the back of your neck and shoulders, all of those large muscles of the upper back. And let yourself settle. There's nothing to do for the next little while. There's nowhere that you need to go. You don't have to check your email or wash the dishes or do anything. We're just resting right now. So let your body really rest. Notice how that feels. Let your body rest. Notice the back of your shoulders, front of your shoulders, and then all through your arms. It's amazing how our body and our mind are linked. They're one, really. When we have a thought about something we need to do, or we feel threatened and need to protect ourselves, often we'll get some energy in our arms and hands, even though we're not actually moving or doing anything. So, part of the practice is to notice that we don't need to have activation anywhere in our body, really. Our body will breathe for us. Our ears will alert us if there's a sound that we need to check into, which is quite unlikely that in the next 15 minutes something will happen. We need to jump into action. And we're ready if we do. So we don't actually have to be prepared. We could let that level of preparedness come down a bit. Notice your breath. Notice how your breath feels in the back of your body, especially if you take a few deeper breaths. And then as you breathe out, let the whole back body settle. Back of your hips, your legs, from your thighs, your calves, your heels, the bottom of your feet. Right now, I'm resting. I don't need to be ready for action. Notice the whole front of your body as well, the front of your feet, tops of your toes, up through your knees, your thighs, through your belly, your hip joints, coming up around the navel center and the stomach area, just below the rib cage. Notice that it's moving as you're breathing, that you don't have to direct the show. You're just letting your body breathe as you soften your muscles. And even that's a bit too active. We don't actually soften our muscles. We bring our attention to our muscles and then they soften. Notice if your breath is continuous and smooth. And if there's any hesitation to breathe in or to breathe out, work with that for a moment. And let your body really be in charge of that. Let your diaphragm muscle, your autonomic system, do the breathing for you. And we're just resting our attention on that area of the body and as it moves with the breath. And we might notice there's another energy there. There could be anxiety or fear, butterflies in the stomach, all kinds of different options. And we don't need to make anything go away. We're just relaxing and focusing on the breath. Coming up into the chest, notice what that feels like. There's some movement in the lower chest. And if there's still movement in the upper chest with the breath, see if you could relax your stomach more, let your breath deepen. Anchor your attention still to the movement of your body with your breath. Coming up through your collarbones, your throat. Notice your jaw and the hinges of your jaw. Up through your mouth. Notice if you can feel the flow of air through the back of your nose down into the back of your throat. Focus just on that sensation for a moment. The sensation of air as it moves in, it's cooler. You can't really feel the out breath quite the same. And then notice your eyes, the deep muscles of your eyes, corners of your eyes, your eyelids, eyebrows, forehead, and then exhale and notice your whole body again. And when we're noticing what's happening in that space the body is in, our mind is usually drawn first to anything that's negative, the negativity bias of the brain. We want to keep ourselves safe. So you might notice pain, contraction, tight muscles, if you're holding your breath or if the breath is kind of jerky. We'll notice that first. And notice the thoughts in your mind. We're going to come back to some of these words again now. Notice the word resilient. I'm resilient. I'm strong. And the mind might come in with, well, that's not always true, but we don't need to listen to that part of the mind right now. We're listening to the body mind, the whole of the body, the energy in the body. I'm strong and resilient. Notice what that feels like in your body. Stay in touch with your breath. And if you want, you could bring to mind times, examples, when maybe something was going quite wrong or it was very difficult. And still, we've all made it through to today. So even though we might not have made it through in a way that we're happy about now, or we can see that it had a big cost, we're all strong enough and resilient enough that we're here. And we're not just here in our bodies, we're here at this practice. We have enough optimism and faith in ourselves that we can be here. Enough trust. And notice, what does it feel like in your body when you're remembering and bringing to mind times that you feel like you've made it through something. Maybe there was a lot of fear. Maybe there's depression. Could be all kinds of emotional states. Maybe something was really hard for you to say, and either you said it or you got away from that person. There's no perfection here. We don't have to be perfectly strong. We're not looking to be unaffected by our lives. Let yourself rest with that for a moment, just noticing what's coming to mind, if it's examples of resilience and strength. If your inner critic's having a go at you, we're not entertaining that right now. Ask it to move back. As you're paying attention to the thoughts in your mind, just really close attention in your body. Let your shoulders relax, let your belly relax, your mouth, your jaw. You're not in any danger from anything right now. even if you're remembering something that was difficult. It's not difficult right now. Right now, we're resting and tuning into our resilience and strength. And notice what that feels like in your body. Notice your chest, your heart center, your stomach, your gut. Notice if your mind has gone off on a train of thought that's unrelated. That's one way that we distract ourselves often. And if that's the case, just bring it back. I'm strong enough. I'm resilient enough. And bring to mind times when you've exercised that strength, when you've exercised your agency, your power to do something, to change something, to say something, to get away from something. It might be that you use your intelligence to research and learn from other people and see how do people deal with this kind of situation. We've all been learning about trauma, and it's so helpful to know that much of what we're talking about is trauma response and then healing, being able to move more out into the world strong enough. And part of being strong and resilient is being present with ourselves and to keep coming back to ourselves. We don't have to be perfectly present. We just have to notice and then we come back, to come back with some kindness. Often, strong and resilient means that we're present, and we're kind, and we're reassuring to ourselves. That was really hard, and you really felt alone, and you're not alone anymore. I'm here. I'm an adult, and I'm here. And I'm not a perfect adult, but I am an adult. And I have strength and resilience and intelligence and commitment. I want to do this, and I can do this. Notice how that feels in your body. Be aware of your whole body, head to toes, and of your body as it moves with your breath. And let the practice come to a finish. And let's rest for a moment before we open our eyes. Notice the whole back of your body, the whole front of your body. Notice your breath. And review the practice if there's anything that you'd like to come back to look into more, or to stay with. Make a note of that. I'm strong and resilient enough. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.